Hey, I'm Mark, and this is Sam.
Hi, I'm Sam.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is episode 3 of a series that Sam and I are doing called The Business of Service, where we are teaching you the tips and tricks on how to turn customer service from a cost center into a revenue generator. And this is a special episode, Sam. This is a new one. This is special.
It is. It is. I'm really excited to share with everybody what we've learned in the recent days.
To check this out, this is what we've been talking about. So Forrester, if you don't know Forrester, they are like the world's largest leading market research firm. They do amazing analysis of companies and marketing. And this year they released their 2023 customer experience benchmark survey. It's kind of like this global research of like, what does customer experience do for you and your business? And there were 3 huge insights. Sam, what were the 3 big insights that Forrester found in their survey?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is really cool. So they did a study of 221 brands across 13 different industries in the US specifically. And what they found was that there were 3 main drivers that influence and impact a customer's perception of a brand's customer experience. And this was top 3 out of 30, more than 30.
Wow.
So these are really, really important.
Okay.
So here are the 3 things that Forrester suggests is the top priority for making sure that you have a great customer experience. So the first one is that the customer rep or agent that the customer is talking to can answer all the customer's questions. That sounds pretty straightforward to me. So basically, if I come to the table and I have a bunch of questions, I want to be able to talk to that person and that they would be able to help me. But on a related note, step 2 is that the company resolves the customer's problems on the first contact. So that means customers don't want to call in and then be called back, be bounced around. They want to be able to get all their answers on that first touch, which can be really challenging, right? Depending on what they're calling in for. And the third thing that influences all of these is that the customer service reps are empowered to solve problems without asking a supervisor for permission.
Okay.
Which is huge, I think, because it talks to the value of being able to empower your service agents to answer all the customers' problems on the first contact, and then to be able to make sure that the customers are getting all of their questions answered in that first contact. So it's a really interesting finding, I think, and really powerful, simple ways of improving your customer experience. But I don't know, are they really that simple, Mark?
I don't know. I feel like we've been talking throughout these episodes about like customer service is where not only you retain your customers, but you allow, if you deliver and delight, you're able to kind of have them then be evangelists. We talked about being an evangelist for your brand. And these are 3 ways that people should be thinking about. Again, doesn't matter if you're a HubSpot customer or not. If you have a business and you are working with customers, one, it's like you want to make sure you answer all their questions, you answer it on the first try, and that you're empowering whoever is talking to your customers. You need to empower them to not have to like reach out to a supervisor. So giving them that autonomy, training them, servicing them, so everybody's ready to go. But if you are a HubSpot customer, we do know that HubSpot has some pretty sweet tools and features that allow you to really bring these big 3 insights to life. So I know you are the whiz at this. So I'm just going to say, show me how it works, Sam. Show me, please show us.
All right, well, let's tackle the first 2 bullets together. So the idea of answering all the questions and answering them on the first touch, like how can we enable our teams to be able to do that? So I am in my inbox in HubSpot. I'm managing my tickets as a service rep. A question comes up and I need to be able to answer this person right away. This could be chat, this could be email, and frankly, I could even be on a phone call too, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But in this case, like, let's pretend that we're chatting with someone or we're emailing back and forth. So first of all, HubSpot as a CRM, I see right away this conversation is attached to a specific contact from a specific company. And I can even see all of the past conversations that we've had with this individual.
Wow.
What does that give me? Context, right? So what this can also allow us to do is empower the reps to understand who this person is and act with that empathy, which we talked about in our very first episode.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about answering questions, the tool that we have at our disposal here is a couple things. First of all, I can actually search my knowledge base articles, which could be either internal or public facing, and I can actually send them the solution in one click. So all I have to do is search and put it on in there.
That's
The
beautiful.
second, isn't that cool? And then like the
Yeah.
second thing that I could do is use snippets or even templates to answer frequently asked questions or similarly asked questions. And what I'll be able to do is just search the keyword related to that, and it'll populate my email. And then of course, like we could still use our little AI buddy here too.
Yeah,
So that if I
buddy.
want to,
Let's
I can
go.
shorten
Content
it.
assistant. Let's go.
Yeah. So I just took all that content and put it into like 2 sentences. So I think these are
Amazing.
like really cool, powerful tools. But that's just kind of like a sliver, right?
Yeah.
So this is chat and this is email. But let's say you're like, you get a phone call, you've opened a ticket, and now we need to be able to work through a process to solve the customer's challenge. This is
Real
where
quick,
playbook.
this is like if 80% of the inbound customer service requests are like FAQs, things that can be answered with a knowledge base article. It's like we have a
Yeah.
solution for it right there. You just showed it to us in chat. Now we're going like, hey, if
Yeah.
there's a little bit of a deeper thing we need to dig into, here's how we can actually make sure we're solving that customer's
Yeah.
question or challenge on the first try.
Yeah, so in a lot of cases, like especially if you're a more technical company, a manufacturer, maybe a software provider, there's steps that we have to flow through to understand the problem in order to reach the solution.
Okay.
And that's where these playbooks come in. So basically, they are pre-scripted flows that your people can go through. And as they're asking the customer questions, they're gathering the information, and they can even put this information into a property so that we're capturing this information for historical purposes as well. But what this allows us to do is empower the reps to go through questions to reach the right solution. And then if all else fails, HubSpot also has real-time collaboration tools. So
That's
I can
right. Yeah.
tag a team and I can say, hey, can you help me with this ticket? And what'll end up happening, I should have warned Nikita before I sent this, she's going to get this notification and she's going to be able to message me back. And then we'll start to have a thread on here so that we can actually talk about whatever challenge is happening in close to real time.
Wow. Wow. So the playbook, step-by-step directions, how to like start going through and finding that solution. And if all else fails, reach out to like a team member with that like real-time chat so we can actually start to solve the problem in real time.
Exactly. Exactly.
Sweet.
And then the third bullet, the
Yeah.
big one is empowering service reps to answer problems without bringing in a supervisor. There's really only one major way to do this, and that's through proper training. But there's tools with HubSpot that will allow us to identify what to train on and what to continue to create information about. So that's what I wanted to show you in here.
You've piqued my interest. You've piqued my interest. I'm interested.
So the first thing is being able to take all of that data that we're capturing on tickets and really formalize reports that we can build to understand trends. So for instance, like categories and just looking at what types of categories over time, what this is going to be able to do is allow us to get more granular to understand as supervisors, what kind of issues have been coming up frequently that are going to help our team to understand how to later proactively solve those challenges. And on top of this, if you're using the knowledge base as part of this solution, we can actually see over a given period of time which articles are referenced the most. And this could be from our clients as well as from our internal staff, which articles have been helpful or not helpful. And the really powerful part for being able to identify training topics as well as content that might need to be created are these two areas down here. So first is search terms with no results. You can either tag articles that you know you have to put with this term, or you might need to create content, which again is another way of enabling our staff to answer questions right away. And then the other one's most search terms. So we can also look at the terms that are being searched the most in a given period of time and identify those trends of the terms that maybe we need to create content, training materials in order to empower our staff to make decisions independent of their supervisors. So a
Interesting.
lot
And that
of really
also,
information.
that goes back to the first bullet point, which was like, hey, if there's FAQs that are coming up, if 80% of the requests have these issues, you can use that
Yep.
powerful data in HubSpot to say, what are people searching for that we don't have content for? Create that content so we can actually kind of stop the bleeding as soon as they, get on the call or
100%.
chat. Okay,
Exactly. So you
interesting.
train your staff, you find what needs to be answered for your customers, you get proactive about how you are training them on answering those questions, you create the materials in the internal knowledge base, create the snippets, create the templates. And what that's going to enable you to do is answer the first two bullet points, which is answer all the customers' questions and answer all their questions in the first contact.
This is the business of service. It really is. I mean, it's a thing where it's like customer service is not just answering questions. It's literally a business unit that when done well, it helps your company grow. It becomes a whole nother sales arm for your business.
Yes.
So I know you're the data person around here. You got the facts. If you do this well, if you do these top 3 things well, what does the study show? What does Forrester say is like the big takeaway from this?
Yeah, and I think this is what makes this study so exciting is it's not just, hey, go do these 3 things and people will like you, but go do these 3 things and you will effectively change your customer service team from a cost center into a revenue generator. And here is what this study found, and these numbers absolutely blew my mind. So according to the study, for just a couple industries that they analyzed, the first being airline, which has a lot of customer issues, as you can imagine. If they do this correctly, Forrester estimates an incremental revenue would be an additional $700 million. $700 million in revenue. For auto and home insurance, they said it could be over $1 billion. Auto industry, manufacturing, they go just under 5 billion, that billion with a B. So it's crazy because like all of this revenue results from just resolving problems on that first call. That's it. First call or first contact. So imagine like, these are big industries, but imagine what that can solve for other companies.
Sure.
I can't imagine that if we see this across this many industries and these larger industries, that we're not going to also see that trickle down into mid-size, smaller enterprise, even small businesses.
Yeah. Folks that are watching this, again, like if you're a HubSpot user, Sam's just showed you kind of how you can do this in HubSpot. You can also hit up Sam on LinkedIn. She can talk to you and show you more about that. If you're not a HubSpot user, that's fine. Go to the people that are talking to your customers and say, hey, here's our 3 things we got to do. Right? We got to we got to answer all their questions. We got to solve their problem on the first call. And we need to empower the frontline people talking to our customers that they don't need to go to a supervisor and figure out what that looks like for your business. Because if you like leaving money on the table for your business, just do what you're always doing. If you'd like to get some more money in and keep your customers happy and grow your business, follow these 3 big takeaways from the Forrester benchmark survey. This is huge. So again, thank you for this. I love when you bring me stuff like this, like Mark, this is what we're talking about. And it's validated by Forrester. Wow. This was an awesome episode. Thank you as always for being the brains of the operation around here. Follow Sam on LinkedIn, please. If you're watching this, follow Sam on LinkedIn. We're going to have episode 4 coming out. Episode 4 is about listening, responding, and empowering your customers, again, to take customer service from being a cost center, costing your company money, and turn it into a revenue generator. Grow your business with great customer service. Did I do that right, Sam?
Yeah, that sounds exactly right.
Thank you again for everything, and we will see you in episode 4.
Bye, everyone.